The British sitcom, a world of charming fools, lovable eccentrics, and characters so daft you'd think they were born with 2 left feet in their heads. Today, we're diving into the top 10 daftest, most scatterbrained legends of UK comedy. If you've ever laughed uncontrollably at the innocent dim-wittedness of Trigger or the chaotic cluelessness of Mrs. Doyle, you're in for a treat. These are the bumbling stars who brought us tears of laughter with just a simple misunderstanding or a disastrously silly plan. Starting us off, we have Peggy, the hilariously daft chalet maid from Heidi High. Peggy has a heart of gold and a brain that, well, could do with a little polish. Her undying dream is to climb the social ladder at Maitland's holiday camp, but her boundless enthusiasm always seems to get her tangled in absurd situations. Who could forget the time she took it upon herself to perform as a stand-in for the entertainment staff, ending in a disastrous performance? Peggy's cluelessness was as endearing as it was maddening, always making us laugh and root for her at the same time. Next up, we head to Craggy Island for Father Dougal Maguire, the sweetly naive priest from Father Ted. Dougal's knack for misunderstanding even the simplest of instructions is his signature charm. One classic moment has him staring blankly at toy cows, only to confuse a model with real cows and struggle to understand the concept of perspective. His childlike innocence means he gets through life blissfully unaware, making every moment with him pure comedic gold. And speaking of Father Ted, we can't forget Mrs. Doyle. She's the housekeeper with an obsession for tea, a head full of questionable advice, and an intense level of stubbornness that can only be described as bonkers.
Well, thanks.
All right, so, Agamon, would you not have a drop?
No, thanks anyway, Mrs. Doyle. I'm fine. No, really.
I'll tell you what, Father. I'm
Seriously?
Absolutely priceless. Next up, we have the delightfully ditzy Alice Tinker from The Vicar of Dibley, played by the wonderful Emma Chambers. Alice is the church verger with an innocent, childlike charm that's only matched by her complete lack of common sense. Her daftness shines through in every episode, but a classic moment has to be her misunderstanding of the "I can't believe it's not butter" spread.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Whether she's sharing nonsensical stories about her bizarre family or interpreting simple instructions in the most hilariously wrong way, Alice's scatterbrained nature makes her a beloved, iconic figure in British comedy.
Don't tell him, Pike!
That classic line sums up so much of the daftness and charms of Dad's Army's Captain Mannering. As the self-appointed, pompous leader of the Wilmington-on-Sea Home Guard, Captain Mannering is utterly convinced of his own military brilliance, even as his plans fall apart at every turn.
Who do you think you are? We're the local defence volunteers, and I'm their appointed commander, Captain Mannering. And I must ask you to keep your hands off my privates.
With his unfounded confidence and constant bickering with Sergeant Wilson, Mannering's blissful ignorance and rigid pride make him a quintessential daft character.
What do we have to do?
Next, we plunge into the world of anarchy with Neil from The Young Ones. Neil's brain is a mellow, confused jumble of hippie ideology and constant dread, and his simple, almost childlike outlook on life makes him both funny and endearing. His spaced-out persona and complete inability to handle any crisis leads to some of the most absurd moments in the show.
That's no reason to hassle me on the toilet!
Now we're talking comedy royalty. Trigger from Only Fools and Horses is the very essence of daft. His simple-mindedness turns every conversation into an unintentional comedy skit.
If you've had that broom for 20 years, have you actually swept any roads with it?
I've maintained it for 20 years. This old broom has had 17 new heads and 14 new handles in its time.
Manuel from Fawlty Towers is a true master of mayhem, played to perfection by Andrew Sachs. Manuel's limited English and hopeless misunderstanding of nearly everything turns Basil's hotel into a battleground of broken communication. Who could forget?
Oh, throw it away! Now!
And for him, it's absolutely true. His pure daftness added an explosive, chaotic charm that no one could forget. And at number 2, the brilliantly thick Baldric from Blackadder, always bubbling with cunning plans that are so ridiculous they're almost genius. Baldric's simple-minded ambition results in endless comic disaster.
Bribe level.
1 turnip. Well, I don't want to price myself out of the market.
Or his infamous turnip idea, Baldric's laughable cluelessness turns disaster into art. His pure daftness is an essential ingredient in Blackadder's genius. Finally, at the top of our list, we have the iconic Frank Spencer from Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. Frank's extreme clumsiness, along with his naive and almost childlike understanding of the world, leads him into one hilarious mishap after another. Who can forget the infamous roller skating scene where Frank clumsily hurtles through the streets, or the time he ruins a job interview by accidentally destroying the office. Frank is the poster child for daftness, and he's captured our hearts for generations with his endless supply of "oh, Betty" moments. If anyone deserves the title of daftest character in British sitcom history, it's Frank. So, there you have it. The top 10 daftest, most scatterbrained characters that UK sitcoms have ever blessed us with. These characters, with their wild misunderstandings and unbelievable mishaps, remind us of the pure joy of laughter. They're the reason British comedy holds a special place in our hearts, making us laugh with, not just at, their lovable cluelessness. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tell us your favourite daft sitcom character in the comments.